When was the last time you did something that only took 6 seconds? Pour yourself a cup of coffee and stir in some milk, type in your password and wait for an app to download on your phone. Do you know what else takes 6 seconds? A recruiter to look at your resume. Well, that's an average, and a recruiter going through a pile of MBA resumes for an internship or job may spend more time reviewing it. You will still have a very small window to make a big impression. And with roughly 75% of business school students planning a career transition, it's more important than ever that your resume position you as effectively as possible for that pivot. We're here to work with you hand in hand as you develop your MBA resume, and in this short video, we're going to focus on the 3 core elements of crafting powerful resume content: defining your target, identifying transferable skills, and crafting high-impact bullets. If you haven't already, take a look at Owen's resume template. Why is this template important? Employers ask for it. It's a clear, concise, one-page format that makes it easy for them to review. Recruiters really appreciate this format, and we ask our students to put their resumes into this template in order to be included in Owen's online resume book. So let's turn to the first step in developing your resume, defining your target. Knowing the function and industry you're targeting will allow you to think strategically about the experiences and skills to highlight. If you're finding narrowing your career options challenging, you'll have the opportunity to work closely with a CMC coach to help you hone your focus. Keep in mind, you can always change or tweak your resume as your career focus evolves. With your job target in mind, you can move on to identifying transferable skills. We know that many of you are career changers, whether you're transitioning to a new industry, a new function, or both. The more factors you change, the more challenging your search will be, simply because you're making a bigger jump from your past experience and have less direct experience to leverage. As a career changer, you want to develop a strong narrative as to why this pivot makes sense. This is where transferable skills come into play. Even if you don't have direct experience in the space you're targeting, chances are you do have relevant transferable skills. As you work on your resume, research the skills and competencies required by your target space and identify those you already have. Let's take a look at an example of how students can approach crafting their resumes with their internship, search, and career change in mind while leveraging transferable skills. Here's an example of a resume. This student was looking to make a change from her career in nonprofit fundraising to a role in brand management. And thinking about the requisite skills for marketing roles, managing cross-functional teams, strategy experience, exposure to finance, relationship building skills, and leadership skills, she strategically highlighted each transferable item on her pre-business school resume. This gave her a useful starting point to begin to craft bullets for her newly formatted MBA resume. Approach your process the same way. Take your current resume and highlight bullets and phrases that represent transferable skills relevant to your job target. Now you're ready to start crafting bullets. Your bullets should be focused on specific accomplishments as opposed to routine responsibilities, and highlight relevant and direct experience as well as transferable skills. The most effective way to approach developing powerful bullet language is to use the situation, action, results framework. The situation provides a context for your accomplishment or the nature of the problem to be solved. It provides more detail around the project or work this bullet is addressing. The action describes what you actually did. What action did you take? What skills did you employ? This is where action verbs come into play: led, analyzed, developed, and where you include a brief description of your work. And finally, the result. This is where you communicate the specific impact of your accomplishments. Quantify results whenever possible with numbers, percentage points, or dollar amounts. If you can't quantify the results of your action, qualify them as best as possible. You can do this with phrases like recommendations adopted by senior leadership, or promoting future consulting engagements with nonprofits, or standardizing sustainability practices across global offices. Let's look at a few examples of the transformation of typical pre-business school resume content to high-impact bullets. In creating this bullet, the student expanded on the scope of their responsibilities. They didn't only manage these teams, they facilitated a full training program and provided motivational support through the events. In addition, they revisited some of their program data and realized their efforts yielded an impressive 40% increase in seminar registration. Here's another example. Because the results are so powerful here, this is a great bullet to start with them. This student also did a great job of adding scope to the project. Adding scope and scale to your situation can really highlight the impact you had. Let's look at one more example. The student was initially challenged because they left the organization before the result of their work was realized, but they did something we highly encourage, communicating the anticipated results of your work. Here, they used the phrase "on track to," a great way to message that their recommendations have been implemented and the impact they're estimated to achieve. They provided scope in a more nuanced degree of detail in describing the restaurant or the situation. As we wrap up our discussion about resumes, let's summarize some of the key points we've covered to help you develop strong, impactful bullets. Define your target. Knowing the industry and functional focus of your next career step is critical in helping you strategize what experiences, skills, and competencies to highlight. Identify transferable skills. Identify the accomplishments most relevant to your job target. Use the situation, action, result framework to craft high-impact bullets that are focused on accomplishments as opposed to routine job responsibilities. We're excited to work with you as you continue to perfect your resume. Your CMC coach and your peer coach are here to support you through the process, and we will continue to share resources on updating your resume with you.